Hey, guys. Welcome to Shade and the City. I'm your girl, Treese. And of course, I have my lovely co host with me today, Mr. VACAY-JayTV.
What up, what up, what up? What up, y'all? What up?
Yes, welcome. And yes, we are a little early this week, but we got 2 episodes to go through. And clearly, I have competition because
What?
Nels and Vacay ran through it so quickly. So if y'all see me going through like Speedy Gonzalez, blame them. Okay, they gave me a challenge, and I said, "Well, be careful what you ask for."
I gave you no challenge.
Marcus, don't be mad in the chat. Don't be at me.
I don't know what
I'm just telling you what the people told me. They said you need to get up here and get out. So that's what I'm gonna do. That is what I'm gonna do, people. Before y'all get mad, I'm not about to read. They told me don't be out here reading all these damn comments. So I'm just letting you know.
We are prioritizing the chat, family, because we're doing 2 episodes. And if you want your joint highlighted, you want it to be read, send a super chat. We appreciate it. We appreciate your love.
That was a nice way to say it. Go ahead, baby.
Do it. I'm just
hey, DeMarcus, what's going on? Both episodes were solid 8s. I will say, and I am going to. I ain't gonna get too long-winded. Hey, Kanitra, welcome. I'm gonna say this. I did have a little reservation last week because I did peep it, but I watched Vacay's. I tuned into his first reactions or his recap. Yeah. And so I was a little like, when I was listening, I was like, it don't sound that good, Vacay. You don't seem that hype and excited about it. And that's why I let the polygamist just take me over. Because
that was the first reaction, though. It was just first reaction.
I was like, oh, it can't be that good. And then when I went back and watched it, oh God, here you go with Team Prunella. And then when I watched it, I said, you know what? It actually is pretty decent. So I agree with you, DeMarcus. It was about a solid 8 for both episodes. But yeah, y'all.
It was good.
Yes, it was. If you guys haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're liking the vibe and you haven't, I don't know why you haven't yet, but we would appreciate if you would go ahead and subscribe. And if you got any hypes left in your heart, is there a hype in the house tonight? Y'all go ahead and give us a hype, okay? And y'all, let's go ahead, let's get into it. And because again, we on a time limit. Let's get shady. Drip on the skyline pen. Shade in the city, true hits like a banger. I said it, I meant it, no need for disclaimers. Haters right away, but they just false claimers. Concrete beats are heavy like cinder. Looking for one, but the streets feel winter. No filters, no edits, I'm raw with my splinters. My life a movie, they watching the trailers. I'm not gonna hold you. Shade in the city, the life and the mold. You like and subscribe if you feeling the vibe. This is my word, I just let you inside. Said it, I said it, I'm not gonna hold you. Shade in the city, my words gon' console you. Like and subscribe if you feeling the vibe. Speaking of that, look, Nels just sent me a text. Anyway, so so if she just pop up in the middle of the live, y'all, if I gotta go, answer the door, that's why.
Right,
so anyway, we start out the episode, Kanan's talking about finding a safe place to land, but nowhere is really safe. And so we see Neek going to see Prunella and Jerome. Neek thinks that Jerome, wants nothing to do with him, and Prunella has to explain that this motherfucker's living in fear his whole life. And then when we got swooped up and kidnapped, that was his worst fears coming true. And I was like, well, if I ain't gonna argue with you, Prunella, I ain't. Yep. Okay. However, the new spot, he feels like in this new spot, they shouldn't be afraid. And she shares that, he actually slept for the first time the other night. So Neek tries to reassure her, look, let me get a few things in place and then we're going to be straight. And Prunella is interested in going back to the city and said, ain't shit for us. So Neek said, nah, but I'm there. And she said, what they got to do with me? I ain't trying to hear that, see? Okay. So she said, you could be here with us. And Neek said, what am I going to do here? And he was like, I don't know why you don't understand that this is who I am. This is all that I am. So he said, without it, I'm not myself. And so Prunella argues, I know you better than you know yourself. And if you want on the South Side, you could be whatever you want to be. I felt like this was a reading rainbow type of scenario. Okay. You could do your best. All right. Like it was LeVar Burton giving us a good message. So Neek lets her know, bitch, I was born on the South Side and I'm a check up out of here on the South Side too. And I said, were they giving us a little hint?
Maybe. Possibly. I felt that too. I felt like, oh, okay. You're gonna live and die here. Okay.
Okay, right.
It's okay.
So then we hop over to this man Russo and the wife. I think her name Elena is her name. They
Something
plan
like
on is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. Ileana, maybe I don't know. So he about to go out. She don't want him to go. She's like, first of all, I'm tired of being in his house, nigga. We don't make that much money. This is not the Debit. Okay. I need to be outside. And he like, we can't do that. And so then he basically tell her nicely to STFU. And so then she gets all upset and he apologizes to her. And he decides he's gonna go out anyway, go about his business. And then we see him in the drive-through. Now, I ain't gonna hold you, this was a great scene. We see him, the driver, he looking back, the driver looking at him, and they was at something like Special Chicken or something. I don't know. It was Jolly Chicken. It was something. I ain't gonna sit here and fake like I remember the name because I know DeMarcus know it. Somebody in the chat know it.
It's okay.
But they sitting in a drive-through, and next thing you know, driver just hop out. This was great. I ain't gonna hold you. This is great. And so we was like, where are you going? And then bruh's gone. Next thing you know, the car is surrounded.
Yeah.
It's a wrap for Russo. What did you think? Can I tell you that was hands down one of the best scenes of this episode?
It was expected because every time Sasha Penn or whoever writes this, every time somebody about to be taken out, guess what? They going to promise their wife, oh, when I get back, we gonna get this. We gonna get this chicken. We gonna do what we used to do every single time. So when they do that, I knew Russo was out of here. And then Carmine, every time you see his fat face, you know somebody gonna be popped. Every time, yo.
Look, shout out to you for knowing his name. I said that. Yeah. I feel like it wasn't worth it. The way you went dipping, got the dipping on that ninja.
And they started looking in the mirror, and I was like, yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah. And the fact that Russo should have been smarter than this, but at that point, he was stuck, so there was nowhere for him to go. Regardless,
he was too arrogant. Like he was like, "Why they need to see me? Everybody know who's the boss." Like he was too arrogant. He was into himself.
Yeah. He had to check up out of here. So R.I.P. to Russo. Meanwhile, Rock go over to see Stefano, trying to make money together again, and he said, "Bitch, I ain't interested. You're the reason I had I got shanked in the gut." So Rock said,
He said, "Bitch, I ain't interested."
Right. He said, "Bitch, I ain't interested." And he said, you started all this beef. And no, she said, that's on you because you started the beef with Sal. And he tells her, I would have never had anything or no. Oh, okay. And so he said, I wouldn't have had anything with Sal if you wouldn't have brought his ass over the river. So he said, I've been doing this for 50 years and I ain't never had as much as a sprain. And then here you come. Now, my pancreas is a pin cushion. Okay. And I never saw it being that. Okay.
Whatever.
Right. So Rock warns him, look, bro, you're not the only game in town. And Stefano lets her know, if I find out you still working in Queens, I will make sure my Sicilian hitters see you. And he lets her know you better find trade elsewhere because Queens is no longer an option. And Rock said, don't tell me what a good time. Okay. Because where there's a will, there's a rock. Y'all like that. Y'all like that, don't y'all? Y'all like that. Okay. Don't do that.
Don't do that. I need to. Don't do that.
So then we get Kanan. He get caught up with, he tells him, look, we're supposed to be working with Breeze. I just need, I got to have an important conversation first. So one of his corner boys is like, nah, man, we need to be making money now. We broke.
Right.
Okay. We ain't got a firm or Zip or, all those. We ain't got no credit, my brother. Right. So basically, he said, just give me a day or two. That's when two officers that you see bust in. I don't know their names. And let him know that, it's time for you to go back to school. And, basically, we came to scare your ass straight. So Ken is like, what are you talking about? And he actually blames them. He said, I know my mama had you take out Fame. And so they're like, who?
Who's that?
We don't know that.
Right.
Sorry to that man. We don't know that man. Okay. And so basically, Kanan was like, and so then they both look at Kanan like he's crazy, like I said. And then Kanan realizes, like, so maybe you see the wheels start to turn, like maybe it wasn't my mom, even though I didn't put all these other wheels in motion. And basically they let him know, bruh, keep your head in the books, okay? Because if we see you out here moving work again, we coming back for that ass. So who do you think sent them?
I don't know, man. It's hard to tell. Maybe Rock Maybe Rock sent them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. It's hard to tell. As the story goes on, we're starting to see how Rock is moving towards Kanan now because last episode it was like, well, you don't want to be my enemy. You've been my enemy my whole life. So it may be Rock. Maybe Rock.
I hear you. Hey, Gemini. Hey, Matthew.
Yo.
I saw y'all roll in the building as I was speed. Hey, Patricia. Welcome, welcome.
Hey.
All right. So then we see Mark at Mark. When did his name become Mark? Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you miss a week. Stop laughing at me.
Don't do that.
So yeah, don't do that. So we see Rock and Marvin. They go to the warehouse. She said, this has been sitting here for too long. We got to move at work. So Marvin said, well, you know, how can you be concerned about the work when the person responsible for taking out Lou is still on the run? Like Jay-Z and Beyonce. And so Rock asked, well, you know, how is Unalive and Neek going to make us any money? And so Rock said, you know, because you messed up and I had to come and clean it up.
Yep.
She lets him know, look, I understand you. I want to take Neek down as well. But first, we got to get these, excuse me, I ain't trying to offend nobody. We got to get these Afghans off our ass. Okay.
You didn't offend nobody. That's a name. That's
I'm just saying they might have a different term. I want to be politically correct. Okay. Now, so Marvin was like, did you talk to Stefano? And Rock shares, you know, Stefano said their operation is done in Queens. And if he finds out they move and work there, he, you know, threatened to put the hitters out. Yep. And so Rock says, but F Stefano and F Queens, because we going to Manhattan, baby. I said, hey, okay.
Manhattan. Wow.
So Marvin reminds Rock, the mafia run Manhattan just like they run Queens. And Rock said, okay, but there's different ones. And we don't know everybody in Manhattan. And we know better than anybody how, you know, they love to mess over each other. That's so she tells Martin about a connect that Joaquin, is that his name?
Hakeem, yeah.
Joaquin, yeah, I like that. I got it, you know.
Yeah.
At least I ain't call him Joaquin. So thank you, you know.
Joaquin. Definitely sound like a Northeasterner. Joaquin, get over here.
So yeah, she plans to go meet with that person that night, and Marvin knows Stefano is not going to be cool with that. And she directs Marvin, look, take this down to Cafe Vu, which Marvin said Lou would be rolling over in his grave. And Rock said Lou would also want us to stay alive. And the club is there about to be our lifeline. And I said, well, damn, Rock.
Wow.
I was kind of with Marvin, like, damn, you just really
just ruthless like that.
Yeah, it'd be like
survival of the fittest. That's it.
Now let's talk about this Mark nigga. So and he not even really a nigga. But anyway, so you know, Garcia show up at Aisha's house, real suspect, tells her mama I need to speak with her. And so she was like, what you need to talk to my daughter for? So then he done pulled her and the parents down to the station. This pissed me off. Okay. Me and he lets the parents know that, look, by the way, you know, Juke's family, or what's the name, Laverne, they into some and I don't want your daughter to get caught up. And then he pulls out all the crime scene photos. It was real messed up.
I was mad because he pulled a photo of Lou. That's what I was really mad about.
That part.
Yeah.
And so he warns them that, like, look, this could be your daughter if you're not careful. And so, of course, they're alarmed and they end up, you know, forbidding Aisha from seeing Juke. But I ain't even gonna hold you. What was hurt my heart so bad. And I don't even really, you know, I ain't even really see it for Aisha like that. But I did feel bad when Aisha went over there to talk to Juke. And Juke was like, yeah, we shouldn't be together. Whatever. And I was like, damn.
No heartless, boy. Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, you act like you didn't feel nothing for that girl. You chunked up the deuces like you was Chris Brown. Like, it was wild.
You got to know that Juke is a dude, yo.
Literally has no. I was just like, no cut card at all. So
no emotions.
Then we get, this was such a cute little scene. We get Neek. He leaves Jerome and Prunella behind. And at first, Jerome seemed like he ain't going to come out the house to say bye to his daddy. But eventually, before he leaves, he runs out. And Neek basically lets him know he really needed that hug. And I was like, oh, not y'all keep me in my feels.
That touched a little hard.
Okay, don't do that. So that's when we see Breeze go to meet with Kanan, Pop, and the Rice Krispies. Okay, he goes to meet with the Rice Krispies, and Taz is clearly jealous that he isn't included on this meeting. And I said, Taz gonna be a problem, and the fact that they still haven't taken him up out of here yet, I'm still wondering what's going on.
They hold him for a special occasion.
Got you.
So
then we see Juke and Marvin, and they having dinner, and she realizes, something ain't really right with her dad. So she was like, you got any leads on who put Lou down? And Juke mentions to him that, Rock was messing with Neek for a long time. And Marvin was like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Mm-hmm. What does that have? What my sister and what she does with her coochie, why does that have anything to do with Lou? Okay.
Yeah. I thought she was going to tell him, well, she got pregnant by him too. I thought she was going to roll that out.
I thought she was going to do that too.
Yeah.
And so she was like, so you cool with, her messing with the person that put your brother down? And Marvin said, okay. And I still believe that it's Neek that took Lou out and said, and yes, Rock may be messing around with him, and said, but what do you want me to say? Can I get back to eat my food? And I said, if it's one thing Martin care about, it's that damn meal.
That's right. Because this ain't a snack. He really hungry if he eating the meal.
Okay. That's right. He distressed. Look, now he emotionally eating too.
Yes.
Marvin gonna be 10 pounds heavier before the end of the season. Watch what I tell you. So then we see Rock stroll into this club meeting, okay, and meets with this nice young lady. I didn't get her name. Let me look at the comments in the chat, see if anybody else got the name on Jennifer, who this is.
Whoever. It was the lamest club ever in the history of Power. They were the worst.
That's so wrong.
It's true. Even Rock was looking around like, what the hell is this? Yeah, Jennifer. That's what I said, Jennifer. Yep.
Oh, okay. Gemini said Juke saved her. Plus, she was going to be loose in even though she loved her. Okay. So that's a good. Who is Prunella? Kanitra, that's Prunessa. I just call her Prunella because I started it and it stuck. And so I just refuse to change her name. But that's who I'm talking about. So I apologize for confusing you. It's just my little personal nickname for her. And then if you go look up the character on author named Prunella, it's just kind of funny because, I ain't gonna say they look like each other, but it's stuck. So yeah, y'all. So then she goes down and she tells her, well, you know what? I can't really help you, but you should probably check with this chick named Flossie. I don't know why I thought of that. Right, I'm Flossie. So then we see Stefano in this meeting with the Rice Krispies and Kanan and Breeze or whatever. And basically he lets him know that, look, I did handle Russo, but I'm not interested in doing business with y'all's. Okay, we use people.
Use people's.
Yep. Right. And he said, but I still want my cut. And he said, but y'all gonna need to find your trucks and your ports and all that shit on your own. So of course Pop is like, we got this. And so Breeze, and so then they introduced Breeze, and Stefano was like, you couldn't pick hurricane, tsunami, like that's what you picked. And so Breeze said, nah, because I flow in and out. Okay, I cool things along the way. I said, well, then there's that.
Yep.
And so then they introduced Kanan, which he needs no introduction. Okay. And so Stefano brings up their connection with Neek and basically said, he's aligned with Russo, so I don't really see it for him. And so Pop speaks up and says, well, Neek still got people out here on the corner. And so it's just not that easy to move past him. And Stefano said, nigga, I disagree. Get him up out of here. Get rid of him. Run him about. All right.
Rat boy.
Okay. And so that's when Neek pops back up on Breeze of all people. Okay. And he upset. He said, why wasn't I included in this meeting? And it's so funny because literally you would think at this point in the episode, I would have been like, how did you find out? It didn't occur to me until the next one that I was like, oh, somebody told him. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all. So
it was at the end that we figured it out, remember?
Yeah,
I didn't have a discussion,
Yeah, I was just, I was mad. I was like, why didn't I ask that question when it happened?
Right.
So Neek accuses Breeze of trying to cut him out the deal, and Breeze checks Neek and lets him know that, look, nigga, I know you ain't got no options like that for real. And he tells Neek, and I know you got some stray soldiers here or there, but they ain't got nothing to fight for. And so Neek said, well, they'll fight for me or whoever's feeding them. And Breeze said, but they hungry. They hungry, my brother. Okay. He said, and you're not that guy anymore.
Wow.
But he said, but you know what, Neek, I ain't cutting you out. We still partners. And I said, oh, now that is when I knew. I said, oh, he on your ass.
And that's how you know Breeze is crazy like that. He will dish you and just be like, yeah, but we still good, right? We still partners. Yeah, no, you can't trust nobody like that. Yo,
right.
What up?
Now we get into Rock and Pino. Okay, and you knew I was gonna remember his name because it's after my favorite wine. So yes, Pino. Okay, but I didn't. And look, I cannot remember his last name to save my life, but I remembered that Pino. Okay? Yeah. Shout out to the wine. I'm just saying, wino gang. Okay,
wino gang.
All right. So basically, Stefano said he lets Rock know, Stefano don't really speak highly of you. And she was like, well, I got my own to say about him, but you know what? I don't do that because my mama told me if I ain't got nothing nice to say, I don't say nothing nice at all.
She did not say that.
I know. I'm ad-libbing, okay? I'm going off the dome. So Rock lets him know, look, I ain't going behind Stefano's back, and I plan to do it in his face because I know that's how y'all like to get down. And so Pino was like, hell yeah. So he tell Rock, well, business in Manhattan is a little bit more sophisticated than Queens. Yeah. And, I can provide you protection, the police, and some permission. And he said, but the police piece is going to be a little limited, and tells Rock, but you know what? I got a healthy appetite. And I like to take a healthy bite, okay? I eat more than Marvin, all right? So he adds that, I already got my trusted professionals doing the work. So I need you to not step on their toes. And he advises her, and I'm gonna need you to find your own customer base and a way to, move the work around the city. And so Rock lets him know, I done already thought about that, and said, and what are your thoughts on Miss Flossie Siegel? Said, I'm Flossie. Oh, I'm gonna be saying it all week. Okay.
We can't trust her. Can't trust.
You don't think you can trust Flossie?
Nope. No way. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's so interesting. I like Flossie.
Of course, you're supposed to like her in the beginning, and then we start seeing stuff unravel. Okay.
I guess. Now,
you like her for 2 minutes.
Just saying. Then we get to, Shirley catching Marvin, bringing the boxes in. She's curious, what's in the box, Marvin? So Marvin said, it's just some bullshit. She said, yeah, I know about bullshit. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're giving me right now. So yeah. Shirley lets Marvin know that, this ain't my first rodeo, sir. And so Marvin said, look, girl, you getting a little too nosy. We trying to buy you out your share of the club. And so Shirley said, well, what if I don't want to do it? Is it non-negotiable? And said, Lou wouldn't really like this. And so why are you doing this? And Marvin said, because Lou ain't here no more. So
dang.
Two tears in a bucket.
I felt sorry for Big Shirley, man, because she was there. I did too.
I felt sorry for both of them.
Yeah, she was there for the family, and for him to come in there and kind of buy her out, like, yeah, here's some money, skedaddle. I was like, dang.
Hey, King Retro, I ain't seen you in a while. Welcome. CJ Harrison. Oh, look at y'all just piling in. I'm missing out because again, I've been advised to keep it moving. All right,
23 minutes. Yeah, we in.
But I think we're doing good for 23 minutes in.
Keep it going.
So then we see Kanan. I don't even think I got a picture for this, but we just gonna move past it. Kanan gets his boys together at the warehouse, lets them know, you know what? We're gonna be working out at a new location, but the operation and the hours are the same. Ain't nothing changed, okay? Back in business. So then we see Breeze and Taz, and they pick up a shipment of pills, and there was some Ritalin and a lot of nice things that people like to get high on. I ain't got no parts of that. But and he tell him I'll be back in a few weeks. Now this was the good part. Okay. The good part.
Yeah.
Now Neek rolls up on Kanan and let him know, you can't trust Breeze, Pops, in any of the Rice Krispie treats or Stefano. Okay. And so he warns Kanan that, they're just using us for the moment so that our crew don't wild out and before they plan to put us down. So Kanan said, that's not how I see it. And he warns Kanan, look, they're not friends to us, okay? And they're just means to an end for them. And so Kanan asked Neek, what the hell you want? So Neek said, I want us to do our own thing. And Kanan said, there's nothing for us to do. And we ain't got to work without them, nigga. What are you talking about? So he was like, we about to run the South Side.
This is
You
when
don't want to
Unique
get
was
lost.
pulling at straws, man. This was one of the signals. He was like, okay, I got to scramble for something. You know?
So Neek changes the subject and asks, well, why you ain't ask me about Lou? Because the streets are saying that I put him down. Kanan said, okay, so what's the point of me talking to you about something I can't change? And so Neek said, okay, but you're not beefing with me because you know I didn't do it. And he said, but maybe your mama did. And he said, or even better, maybe Marvin did it. And I said, okay, now we're just pulling anything out of our ass at this point.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And so then, and then he said, or maybe you did it.
You did it.
And I said, are we playing Guess Who? Does your character have red hair and glasses? Like, what are we playing?
Yep. Maybe you did it, boy.
Right. And so Kanan gets in his car without saying a word and was like, yeah, I ain't giving you nothing, Nathan. All right. Then we move on to Taz and Breeze. And we see, and this is when I thought Taz was going to check up out of here. I ain't even going to hold you. Yeah. So Breeze confronts Taz about sharing with Neek about the meeting with Stefano at the hospital. And Taz said, well, I just asked if he knew about it because I felt it should have been something that he was in on. So Breeze warns Taz, you know what? You stirring up trouble because you think you getting passed over. And Taz admits, because I do feel like that. And so Breeze warns him, that's the least of your problems. And I was like, so why ain't you? Yeah.
Right. I was like,
can anybody help me with that?
And I asked my peoples when I did my first reaction, I was okay, what's going to happen to him? Why is he saying that and nothing's happening? Maybe he got plans down the lines for him. You know what I'm saying? Down the line. So we'll see.
I guess. Yeah. So then we get Neek who goes to see Akbar.
George Washington Bridge right there. George Washington Bridge.
Oh, see, I would have said
Washington
Brooklyn.
Heights right there. It's Washington Heights, Upper Manhattan.
I would have said Brooklyn. I think every bridge in New York is Brooklyn.
Thank you on your bottom for that.
Don't judge me, y'all. So, and it's sad because I actually used to live in Jersey, and sadly, that's probably the only bridge I've ever crossed is the George Washington.
Right? Yep.
Don't judge me, y'all. Neek meets with Akbar and tells him to circle the wagons. And Akbar said, Russo messed up the hit. So he said, when Russo messed up that hit, they was always going to be in the crosshairs. And Akbar plans to lay low in Jersey for a while to get the target off his back. And I said, well, that didn't work too well. And suggested, maybe you should do the same. And so Neek said, I ain't running. I look light. Okay. And Akbar said, maybe it's not running away. Maybe it's saving your life and running it to something else. Okay.
New Jersey wisdom.
Right. Right. And so that's when we see Marvin drive by. And mind you, again, y'all, I'm not literally going scene by scene by scene, so I might be all over the place as far as notes. I'm just covering everything that was in the episode.
You're good. You're doing well. You're doing great. Don't worry.
Thank you. So Marvin's corner boys let him know that Akbar is actually posted up in Jersey, and they suspect that Neek might be with him. So he said, oh, good shit. Let's go.
Here's some money.
Let's get it. It's money.
Yeah.
So, and did I miss that part already? Did that part already happen? Oh yeah. So then that's the first time he paid him. Then the second time, that's when he goes to the barbershop and he learns about Breeze and everything going. He was like, who is Breeze? And that's when he starts putting stuff together. But that's when he goes on the hunt for Akbar. Okay. That lit the fire up under his ass. All right. So now Rock meets with Flossie. Where's she at? Okay. I can't believe you don't see it.
I don't trust the pale horseman.
Rock meets Flossie, and Flossie tells her, she loves a female entrepreneur, and she don't care how Rock makes her money. And so Flossie and Rock talk logistics and the work her girls will be doing, because they're escorts. And so Flossie says that other people have approached her with a similar offer and shares that, she got the NYPD in her back pocket. And she says she's never, accepted any of the offers because it's always been men approaching her and then turning around and trying to tell her how to run her business. And then that ends up her putting, a bullet between the eyes. Okay.
See, and trust.
I mean, I thought the female, girl energy might, She said, but she know this opportunity is different with Rock, but warns her, I'm gonna need to get a big piece, and I know you already given a big piece to Pino. So basically, it's a huge cut of that damn pie. And I said, God damn, Rock, when are you seeing any profits? You got to be making some real money to make anything the way they've set up this deal.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm glad it's just not because I ain't the best at math, but I was like, that don't seem like that makes sense.
I mean, what type of piece she getting? 10% out of this 100%? That's like nothing, yo. And she got to pay the Afghans back. So yeah.
So Rock said, look, don't nobody stress about my money but me. And I said, clearly. And so she said, you know, if you down, I'm gonna make it work. And so they agreed. They down. Okay.
Yeah.
And so then I didn't get a shot of this, but we do see Akbar at his bar. He's made it back to Jersey. He's chilling when Marvin comes in and said, you know, where Neek at? And if you tell me fast enough, I might let you finish that drink, my brother.
Yeah.
And so Akbar laughs. What you talking about? And so he tried to pull out his strap real quick, right?
Big boy.
And then, but Martin's quick. And then he had another one. So then, but before the hitters could even hit him, it was like some real dual back cowboy western type shit. And he was just like pow pow and took them all out. And I said, Marvin Wick, you a bad mama gent. Well, not a mama gent.
Marvin Wick, yo, he was doing his thing.
He was. Look, what did Rock call him? I don't know if he was trying to be Shaft out here or what, but he was doing it. He was doing it. Yeah. Okay. So that's when I ain't gonna hold you. Juke is outside scoping out Garcia's house, right? Yeah. And she notices that he got kids and a pregnant wife, and I guess they're on the way to the hospital. And so she's strapped because she's ready to take him out, but decides to, you know, change her mind after seeing his whole family. And I said, see, she do got a piece of a heart.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
And so that's when we see Breeze and Kanan, and they roll up like thieves in the night, thinking they about to take out Neek, but can't nobody find Neek. Okay. No. And so basically, yeah, can't nobody find him. Then Marvin pulls up at Prenella's house that she was supposed to be at.
Yep.
Nobody can find Neek.
Gone.
He gone. Okay.
Gone.
Oh, look, there go my door. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Answer the door, Jalen.
Is that Nels?
Yes, it is.
Nels. A homie.
Oh God, he's coming to the door. And sorry, you probably they're gonna get excited. You're gonna hear them scream.
By the way, you have a super chat from DeMarcus. $10. $10 super
chat. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry because I'm going between pictures. So I apologize. Thank you so much, DeMarcus, for the $10 super chat. Did he say something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look, Nails. Here come Nails. Hey, Boogie Butt. Hey. How goes it?
You doing Raising Kanan?
Yes.
What up? What up, homie?
What are the balloons?
Right?
Is it a
happy to see me?
It's good.
They'd be like, you should have brought your ass to work if we was happy to see you.
Listen, I already told y'all I had today off. Okay. I already told tonight I had tonight off.
I was gonna say blatant truth, man.
I was working earlier today. I had tonight off.
She did her time.
Thank you, CVK. Thank you.
You don't work in HR, okay?
Listen, it don't need to be approved.
I was doing the work with her. I'm verifying.
Thank you, DeMarcus.
Thank you for the super chat. Unique knew that Kanan eliminated Ronnie, and Unique didn't eliminate Kanan, so Unique was capping about eliminating someone who eliminated a family member. Okay, I get what you're saying. So then we move on, and yeah, we see Neek and Pranessa on their way. Oh, look, I actually see like
you said her name right.
I know. I've been saying it wrong the whole episode. Prunella, right? And so get home safely. Text me when you get home. Text me when you get home safely. So then we see Neek and Prunella on their way somewhere. We don't know where they off to. And Neek tells her that they starting over and they getting out of New York. And I guess Jersey, no, because they were in Queens. Okay.
Yeah, they was in Queens, so they're getting out of New York, going somewhere. Either most likely Jersey.
I don't think that's smart. We just saw Akbar got capped in Jersey.
Well, I mean,
unless they're going down to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, they might be going through Jersey. We don't know exactly where they're going, right?
I think they'd be better off going to like Philly or you know what I mean?
Unless they go further upstate. Because when I saw that bridge, it looked like the Bear Mountain Bridge. Mm-hmm. And that's near my other territory, Rockland County. Mm-hmm. So if they went further upstate near Ossining and go up further up past Yonkers and all this and that and went across the bridge, They might be in upstate New York. Never know.
Maybe they're at the same place that Tasha's at. So you know they won't be hard to find.
Okay, I got you.
They're the same place that Tasha's at. So then we move on. Now, y'all, look, we are doing good. We are actually up into episode 3 now, right?
Let's keep it going.
Yes, let's do it. So Kanan and Breeze roll up on Neek's Corner Boys and ask them, where Neek at? And so so the Neek's boys is like, we heard what you did to Akbar, and y'all gonna pay for it. So Breeze laughs and lets them know, look, we didn't put Akbar down. I mean, we could have, but we didn't. You know what I mean? And so then he suggests that, Neek can't be found, so we're gonna have to make moves without him. And so Neek's boy was like, we didn't hear anything about linking up with you. And Kanan chimes in, well, it doesn't matter what you heard. I'm letting you know that this is our corner now. And so either you working for us or you aren't working at all. And so Breeze tells Neek's boys, look, let me find this picture. I'm too busy talking. Where they go?
Okay. Got a lot going on over there. All right.
I do.
Doing good.
So Breeze tells Neek's boys that, he can't run, Neek can't run a corner if he's on the run. Again, like Jay-Z and Beyonce. And so old boy says, well, it's his corner, and then warns them to step off. And that's when Breeze, lights his ass up. And then, of course, Kanan joins in because, he's a hitter too.
That's it. He's like, this your corner. All right, you can have this corner right here. Bam. Right. I was like, you crazy, boy. But I like it. I do.
I was like, okay, Breeze. Yeah. I mean, I can take a villain. Again, y'all know, I'm a fan of Ronnie. I like a good villain. If you just gotta stay in that space, like you can't go soft.
If you love power, you're always gonna root for the villains. So the more villainous you are, the more we're gonna like you.
Right. So Rock and Marvin link up with Flossie and her girl Elizabeth. They give her firm instructions. Or that was the first girl. That's the only reason why I took down that heifer's name, because I thought she was gonna be somebody important. And then they just started running through female after female, and I said, I ain't got no time. Okay. So they give her firm instructions on what's expected, and Flossie tells her she wants her to bring in new customers, and Rock lets her know that if they win, she wins. But it's not just about her anymore, it's about their work. So Rock advises her to have her head on a swivel at all times, and if somebody start asking too many questions, just get the hell up out of there. And so then we see them meeting with some, and literally my notes say some other girls that Flossie has decided would be a good fit for the assignment. And Martin advises one chick that basically her mouth shouldn't open unless there's a kid in it. All right. And so Flossie calls him out and says, that's not really how you really know how to sweet talk a woman. And Marvin said, yeah, because I listen to a lot of Teddy Pendergrass. When I tell you I hollered, I said, Marvin.
I love Marvin. He's so raw.
I love it. And
he's like the hoes need money too. You know what I'm saying?
So then, Flossie's real happy that all the girls she brought up decided to sign on. So Marvin said, yeah, because these bitches want to make money. So Flossie was like, can you refrain from calling them bitches? At least not to their face. And so Rock tells Flossie, well, you know what? We just getting started, but, we got to move fast, grab this market share. And so she said, I got to go meet with my real estate guy. And Flossie tells Marvin, you're a real character. And so
you're fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
You're fascinating.
So she write her number down and said, I'd really like to meet you for a drink later. And so Martin looks suspicious, and Flossie lets him know, look, I'm not propositioning you, okay? And so Marvin said, that's good, because I don't pay for pussy. Straight like that.
That was funny too.
And so Flossie lets him know, well, I like to know the people I'm in business with, and we're officially in businesses together. And so Marvin said, all right, I'm down for a drink. I'll holler at you later. And I said, okay. I don't know. I know y'all gonna tell me Flossie ain't it. I don't know.
Look, at first I thought she was trying to, just like get at him because she seemed like the type. Look, she's the leader of the escorts. So I'm thinking, okay, well, she might have had a couple of brothers. You know what? You're fascinating. Come to my house. I was like, what? Okay, that's the first thing you're gonna think. But nah, she got an ulterior motive, B. Something else going on underneath that, B. I can't trust her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gemini Dawn, thank you. You see, she ran out of here. She just, look, that's how terrible. She just came to drop her kid off.
Okay.
Didn't come to work, just dropped the kid off. And
wait, is that Tiff dropping off
Yeah, that's it. That's right. Make sure you bring that up next week.
You keep
she out here acting like Tiff.
Oh no.
Look, don't tell how I said that.
No. It's okay because when we covered it, she actually was speaking like Tiff.
Well, I saw that. I was listening.
DeMarcus,
thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hafiz will purchase the Southside Plaza. Rock will get pinned for B Rilla's unaliving because Rock owned the plaza before Hafiz.
Oh, you ain't bring it up.
Oh no, I was reading it in the thing, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's interesting, DeMarcus. I didn't see that, but that actually is a kind of a great plot twist. I ain't even gonna hold you. Yes, thank you so much, SG. Please hit that like button, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah. So and look, y'all saying something don't feel right with Flossie. Okay, look. Blatant Truth said, and what did HR say? Oh, I thought she was getting on nails about taking off. If she didn't want to hunch Martin, do you think
she worked earlier?
Don't do that. If it has something to do with Floss. Oh, her daughter being unalive.
Yes. Or you know, there's a lot of theories out there, but a lot of it's tracing back to Tony Deep. And maybe Flossie may be related to Tony Deep. Remember how?
Is that the one he outside the courthouse or whatever, or wherever?
Lady from the club, and try to set him up way back in the beginning.
See, then I wouldn't.
She's the only other white girl that Marvin was with. That was way back.
I was gonna say that must have been way. Look, I have to ask Nails about that one.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, so Juke, I like this scene. Yeah. Juke said, "Ha ha ha," pulls up on Garcia at his house, and he said, "Well, what you doing here? You done lost your mind." So Juke said, "Well, you've been following me, so I'm just returning a favor. How you doing?" So Juke said, "Look, leave me and my people alone." Garcia warns her, "Following me is not gonna make me back off, and you actually just made more trouble for yourself." So Juke said, "Look, I'm aware that you got kids and another one on the way." And then said, "And look at how you're living."
It must be a whack ass house.
Right. Okay. I mean, I didn't think it looked too bad. It looked like the same house that Nikki put her husband up in, because since he can't live in LA with her.
Yeah.
Just saying. So Juke said, "Oh no, okay." And so Juke tells him that, police ain't paying you enough for all this. And so Garcia warns Juke, "You making things worse, okay? And if you thought I was tough, you ain't seen nothing yet."
You ain't intimidating nobody.
Right. We're not scared. So Juke asked Garcia, "Well, what if I just made things a little bit easier for you and your family?" And said, "I can help you out if you help me out in exchange." And so Garcia said, "But you really got some nerve." And he said, "I'll either arrest you or put a bullet in you." And I said, "Well, you can't just be out here saying that all it's daylight. People, you know what I mean? The kids outside playing on the block. You know what I mean?
Trying to scare. He ain't scaring nothing, boy.
Right." And so basically she tells him, "I was talking about the kind of help that can help you pay your bills." So Garcia said, "Go home. Get the hell away from here and go to hell home." And she said, "But I ain't hear you say no, though." And so he said, "Look, don't come around here no more. Don't come back now. You hear? Don't do that."
Man, Garcia hitting up the club too much.
Right. And so Juke tells him, "You keep on protecting and serving, because I know I'm gonna see you sooner or later." And I said, "Well." Then we get Stefano, who goes to meet with Pino. Again, I love that name. To basically warn him, don't be out here doing business with Rock. It's not a good look for you. Despite Stefano's reasoning, Pino said, "Nigga, I was just calling you down here to let you know face to face, man to man, that me and Rock was working together. I ain't really give a damn. I wasn't interested in your thoughts or nothing like that." And so Stefano said, "Well, I believe Rock is the reason I, got shanked in the gut." And Pino said, "No, that was your doing. If you hadn't went over there messing with them Jersey folks, and that was your ego. So that's what you get."
I like that. I like Pino for that.
Right. So Stefano reiterates, "I just really don't like the idea of you working with Rock." And Pino said, "Okay, duly noted," before saying, "Enjoy your trip back across that bridge." I said, "Well." He's
like, "I don't give a."
And right. And so that's when one of Pino's boys asked, "Well, how did things go?" And Pino said, "Stefano really has balls coming to tell me how to run my operation." And I said, "Ooh, I love a good Italian mafia fight." Because that's what it looked like it's about to turn into again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just different characters. And like Rock said, they love stepping on each other.
That's right.
So then this was an interesting scene. Juke and Kanan meet up. It seems like they probably haven't been together for real, since the last time this situation that they talk about. And so he admits to Juke that he realizes Rock might not have been the one to take Fame out. And so Juke said, "You don't think the police was lying to you? That's what police do." So Kanan said, "For some reason, I actually believe them." And Juke asked, "Well, who do you think did it?" And Kanan said, "Well, I don't think it really mattered." But he apologizes to Juke for pulling out his gat on her that night. And Juke just shrugs it off and said, "It wasn't the worst thing that happened that night." And I said, "Girl, what?"
You right about that. You right.
I guess. So she asked Kanan how he's feeling about Lou's passing, and Kanan tells her, I'm messed up. I know you can't see it in my face. It don't look like it, but yeah, I'm real tore up inside. So Juke shares, I keep telling myself that he out of town and he'll be back soon, but then it only lasts for a minute, and then I'm all messed up again. And she talks about how Marvin is in a real bad place. And so she asked Kanan, what really went down between you and Rock that night? Because you left your house on some craziness. And so Kanan tells her it's the same old, Rock telling me how she cleans up my messes. And Juke said, okay, and did you ask her about Crystal? And Kanan said, yeah. Rock said she had nothing to do with it. But regardless, me and Rock are done. And despite what she's done or plans to do, she's already unalive to me. And I said, well.
This boy lying straight to her face, boy.
Straight up to her face.
Ain't nothing happen. Crazy.
Oh, okay. So I actually got these out of order. Here we go. So this is the scene where Marvin ends up going to the barbershop, letting him know that he's still looking for Neek. And then somebody lets him know, are y'all okay? Jesus. But anyway, he heard that, he's in business with Kanan and Breeze. And so he's like, who the hell is that? And so somebody else chimes in and was like, yeah, I heard that same damn thing. So go get him. Go get him, Tiger.
He wasn't getting paid. Only one guy was going to get paid, okay?
I know. I would have felt some way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hold on. I added my 2 cents too.
Yeah.
Help a brother out. How am I going to pay for this haircut?
You're getting $1, boy.
Right. So Breeze gives Kanan kudos for handling, Neek's boys last night and likes the fact that he wasn't shook. And so Breeze promises Kanan that his world is going to get a whole lot bigger and his pocket's going to get a lot fatter because he's letting Kanan take over Neek's old corners. And so Kanan wants to make sure that, his bike guys are also taken care of. And so that's when Breeze lets him know, oh, that's light work. I'll let Taz handle that. I said, damn. So, and this was my question, and I think it was valid. Kanan says, well, what happens if Neek comes back? And Breeze said, okay, we're going to handle it like we plan to handle it. But if he comes back, obviously it's not going to be expected.
Right.
So you going to have him out there on the corner? Like, I don't know. That's the only part. But
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Kanan on some ego tip, like, well, he come back. All right, well, that's what we got to do. We'll pop him too, just like we did the other dude. So it is what it is.
I guess so. So he says, all these old, got to get out their way because it's the two of them now. It's Team Us. Meanwhile, Taz sitting by ear hustling, jealous as hell. Jealous. Okay? They smile in your face.
Steam coming out his ears. You're doing good. Keep going.
Thank you. I ain't got a scene clip for this. So Rock meets with the realtor. That's what DeMarcus was talking about earlier. She trying to get this shopping plaza off her hands because it basically ain't making her no money. So he informs her that the neighborhood is changing and not in a good way, not gentrification way. Okay. And it's a little bit hard to sell, especially since they just caught a body like a week ago. Okay. And so he said, and unfortunately, I have to disclose that to any potential buyers. So Rock tells him, well, I need you to get this off my hands. Make it happen. However you got to do it. So he said, well, I may have a buyer overseas that might be interested. And Rock said, I don't give a damn as long as he's paying American dollars.
That's it.
Run that register. Okay.
Give me the money. Spend
right. Now, Marvin, I thought this was a great scene. Where is it? Here we go. Marvin pulls up on Kanan at his apartment and said, are you messing with Neek? Because I believe Neek is the one that took Lou out. And Kanan said, no, I'm not messing with him. And Marvin lets him know if that's the case, I hope not, because we'll have a problem. Kanan said, look, Neek gone. And when Marvin said, well, how do you know that? And Kanan tells him, because, we took his corners and he ain't even done anything about it yet. So Marvin said, well, so it was you that made that move last night. And he said, and who the hell is Breeze? So Kanan says, he's a ninja from Brooklyn I've been messing around with, and goes as far. And then they have this exchange. And then this man tells him, well, if you need a job, I got you. I got you, Uncle Marvin. Marvin said, you little mother. What did Blake True put in the comments? You can't even see me.
Yeah, it was funny as hell, boy.
Okay. He said, you got some nerve, right? This was the best scene ever.
Yeah.
So Kanan lets him know, well, look, I don't know where Nick is before he shows him the door. And he said, but I ain't got shit to do with it, before telling Marvin, stay up, gangster. I said, no.
He's like, all right, gangster.
No.
I was like, Marvin, you better breathe, boy.
Right. It was wild. It was funny, though. It was funny. Yes, right, Gemini Don. I was like, you got nerve, for real.
Pop Warner, yeah.
And the Pop Warner comment, yes. So Juke finds her hookup. DeMarcus, you can help me out in the chat. I don't know this lady name. Didn't really care about her name. But Juke then leaves her. They go back to her place. I guess they hook up. And then she was like, well, how long we gonna do this? And Juke was like, well, what the fuck you mean? I'm gonna keep seeing you on the slide, and then I'm gonna slide through, and then we gonna go our separate ways. And so she was like, but we like each other. And she was like, and you lucky you caught me, because I don't be down there often because the drinks is expensive. And Juke, when I tell you Juke is a ninja,
she is.
She said, we're just gonna skip the drinks next time.
Yo, Juke is a straight G, B.
I said, wow.
That's how it was.
I hate to tell you, and this is not trying to, but when I hear people say studs be worse than men, like for real, and how they treat women and how like they're womanizers.
That's an example.
Juke is like a perfect example of that.
I just saw that recently.
Yeah, no, I keep hearing people say that, like, no, studs be worse. Like, I seen an interview with Young M.A. and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they saying that the gay ladies are coming back to the men, yo, because of this.
It'd be real rough out here. So then Marvin goes back to report to Rock that, hey, Kanan lost his mind. He on here acting like he, invented the corner. And Rock is, again, who the hell is Breeze? Okay.
Right.
And so he's like, do you really think that, Neek would get the dipping? And Rock has a flashback when she looks at the wall of blue, basically going down. And so she's like, we need to go to the kitchen. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so, Rock tells him that Breeze must be connected in Queens because he was able to set up shop so quickly, and assumes that he must be working with Stefano, who's still a thorn in their side. And Marvin mentions, well, Neek is still a thorn in our side. And Rock advises him, you need to move on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just move along. Because clearly Breeze has. All right.
Keep on moving.
And then we see Kanan go to meet with Stefano.
Yeah.
And so Stefano lets him know, like, look, Rock out here doing business in Manhattan. And Kanan said, okay, she ain't no longer in Queens. What's the big deal? So Stefano said, well, I want to make sure ain't no issues, or that Rock doesn't become an issue for us, because things could get messy. And Kanan assures him that, you got more mess for Rock than I do. So no, I don't think it'll be an issue. Wow. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Wild work right there. He don't care. He like, whatever. Do whatever you want. Like, dang.
I mean, the fact that he was ready to take him out himself lets me know that, he really don't give a damn. That's why I can't, honestly, if it's one person I dislike more than Tariq, I got to give it to Kanan.
Why?
He's more like, again, the same way I'm still mad at Tariq about running and hiding when it came to Raina.
Yeah.
And the whole ghost of it all. Kanan is worse because Kanan don't give a damn. Kanan would say, I did it, and.
But you know who's worse than Kanan?
Who?
His mentor, Breeze. That's
true. That's true. But see, I'm not one of those people that latched on to the Breeze character like before we met him.
No, when he's rolling out, no, it's rolling out before our eyes, and that's why I'm saying it. Like the whole popping the dude straight in the head. Oh, the block is yours, and just popping off. This is where Kanan gets it from. Kanan was popping, but he wasn't popping off like Breeze is popping off. So he got the example from Breeze. Breeze is the craziest.
Right. Thank y'all. Yes, CJ Harrison, get up the likes, y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate that.
So
Thank you.
Marvin goes to see Flossy. I wouldn't even mind seeing him hit the little white girl. I'm sorry, the unseasoned woman.
Yes.
So he sees a photo of her and her daughter's bar mitzvah. So Flossie breaks it down for Marvin and what the situation is. And he asks her, well, where your daughter at? And apparently she's passed away 5 years ago, which to VACAY-Jay's point, I think that's a pertinent piece of information. They're dropping a nugget for us.
Yes.
But she changes the subject to Martin and says, she's surprised and thinks very highly of him because he's willing to work under a woman and his sister no less. And so Martin said, I just want you to know I'm still not paying for no coochie. I just want to make that clear.
You keep calling him Martin. It's so funny.
Marvin. I'm sorry.
Martin Lawrence.
No, I told you it's because one of my BTG characters is named Martin. So it's
okay. It's all good.
But anyway, so he was like, yeah, I'm not. And she was like, look, thank you for coming over. I ain't trying to give you no coochie. She gives him condolences for Lou and then tells him you couldn't afford it on your best day. All right. And then she shares a special Jewish saying with him that she thought about when her daughter passed, before telling him good night. Now, the one thing I'm going to give you, because I watch Actions.
Yes.
After he walked out, her face.
Yes. There you go.
Her facial expression.
That's it.
I said, why does she seem like irritated and somewhat relieved that he was out of her house?
She's like, okay, bye. And then she turned around, she's like,
right.
Like, oh.
And I did pick up on that. And I said, okay, that was weird. But I just chunked it off to, maybe she didn't like the fact that he insinuated again that he's not paying for pussy. Okay.
I see your comments. Y'all funny, man. In the chat, y'all hilarious.
So then we get Pop and the Rice Krispies. They ask Breeze, what you done heard about Nick, and so he lets them know that I don't know anything, but says we taking the man's corner. So Snap asks, well, how are his people responding? And so Breeze feels that we got a little pushback, but we push back even harder. And so Snap reminds Breeze that Neek has already played unalive for months once before, and so they suggest that maybe Neek did leave and Breeze doesn't care as long as they making money.
As long as they making money,
okay.
They don't care.
And then
they don't give a damn.
We see Rock meeting with a couple of her soldiers and giving them instructions, and that's all I really got on that because I don't know what that really meant to me.
That
or if it should mean anything to us.
Yes, because remember she said, "Okay, just shoot." It's a signal. Don't go back and forth. This was the goons that shot up Kanan's blocks now.
Oh, thank you. Because I didn't understand that party.
Yeah.
Who did it?
It was those goons. She sent them.
Thank you. That you just literally cleared up a whole piece for me because I was so lost on that part. Thank you. So then Juke comes out the house and Garcia outside waiting for her and said, "Get your ass in the car, okay?" And he lets her know. He hands her a bag and tells her, if she F's with him, he gonna unalive her. What was in the bag, y'all?
What was in the note? It was a note.
It was a note?
Yes,
what do you think the note said?
He wants money. Remember, she said, I can get you some money for your kids, right? So he gave her paper and said, listen, once we go here, there's no turning back. Like, I'm going to give you money, okay, or you're going to give me money, and I'm going to give you the information. We're going to have a back and forth exchange. So once we go down this line, there's no turning back. I want 10,000 or whatever amount it was every single month.
Okay. Thank
you for information. Yeah.
Got it. Because I was like, I was like, what's in the bag? Okay. So then Marvin goes to talk to Pastor Evans about his feelings of loss for Lou and how he wants revenge. And Pastor Evans advises him to make peace with Lou's, passing and, and find God and ask for forgiveness. And Marvin tells him he don't need forgiveness. He just needs his brother. When I tell you that broke my heart, that broke my heart. I shed a thug tear. I poured a little out. Yeah, it was that. Well, no. Mommy's on live. No. Jalen. Out the camera. Jesus. What'd you need? Okay, he's going back upstairs. You see these chillings. This is why you can't have more than one.
He happy when his cousins come over.
He really is, because he ain't got nobody else to entertain him.
That only child. I was the only child. I get it.
Right. So Taz meets up to make a drop and learns that, or he learns from the guys, it's a bunch of unseasoned guys, okay? And so they let him know that, I heard you getting pushed to the side for this new dude, Kanan. And so this makes Taz upset, and he swings on the dude, and he lets him know that nobody gonna play me to the left. I am not Beyonce, and you are replaceable.
Beyonce wasn't born, but yes.
You know what I'm saying.
Now, she was alive. She was a kid, though, in 92.
So then we see Marvin. Is this the part? Or am I got my? Well, that's where we going, because we wrapping it up.
You almost did. Okay, you're doing good. Keep it going.
Thank you. So Marvin comes home and pours himself a drink, and Juke was like, "Are you good?" And so Marvin said, "No, I'm not good." So Juke said, "Well, you know what? I've been thinking too, and I think we need to get away." But Marvin said, "Where we gonna go?" And so she said, "Well, if we can't leave, then I want to work for you." Which Marvin said, "No, I don't want you to do that." And Juke explains, "Look, we better together, watching each other's back. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be without my father." When I tell you, it pulled on my heartstrings. It absolutely pulled on my heartstrings. I was like, oh. And so,
I love you, man.
Right. And that's when she tells him she loves him, and they share a heartfelt. And I said, see, she do got a heart.
Yo, she been had a heart. She got a heart for the family.
And so next thing we know, that's when we see this scene. And he got Juke working at the bar at Shirley's now, or Cafe Goop.
I was mad at that. Because she wanted to go out of town, be like, yo, let's get out of here. He's like, okay, here's the job. I was
here's the job. Right. Let me give you something to do. So he gives her assignment on, gives her the rundown on how things should go. She collects the hoes money, and she got someone watching her while she working at the bar.
I can't believe you calling them hoes.
I look, I'm about as bad as Marvin.
I can't believe you.
And then, bitch better have my money. Okay. And he lets her know that there's a gap under the bar should anything pop off, and tells her that, I really hate this for you. But she said, not I, says the cat. Okay. Now, and then we see Taz roll up on Kanan. He said, I'm not going nowhere. Okay. And I was here before, and I'm going to be here after. And Kanan said, but you messing up my count. Move along. Okay. So just then, this is the part that VACAY was talking about. The same corner that Kanan and Breeze took over and, lit it up.
Yep.
Apparently, Rock sent her hitters, but that's when. So we see Breeze sitting in the car watching, though, as the Popo come to investigate. So that's why I was confused, because I was like, why would Breeze? And that's why I thought he was setting Kanan up to be on the corner, if that makes sense.
I got you, but no, it was.
I love you. Say I got you, but no.
Yeah. Now that Rock found out, oh, that's Breeze and Kanan's corners now.
Right.
Oh, freaking! But I was like, yo, that's petty right there, because you're not even working in Queens no more. But now you're gonna hit your son's blocks. Yeah, you real petty. But
well, again, I mean, she said it's war. She said it's war up at this point.
Yeah.
And I mean, after you come and put a pow to my face, I mean, ain't no real coming back from that, for real.
Yeah.
So now one part I did like, Rock rolls into Shirley's, and she said, oh, look at here. Look what the cat done dragged in. And she sees Juke. And she said, you was talking all that about me. Okay. But now here you are working here. And she said, no, I'm working for my dad. And Rock said, okay, yeah, you're working for Marvin. All right. And then we see the first girl, the beautiful black girl, which I will at least, they gave us the unseasoned girl's name, but didn't give us the black girl's name. At least I didn't get it.
Yeah.
So then we see the first girl come to pick up, make her delivery to drop off. And so back at Rock's house, Marvin decides to share with Rock that he went to spoke with Pastor Edwards, and he told him to find God. And Rock says, of course he did. That's the business he's in. So Marvin asked, well, do you believe in God? And Rock said, yeah, sometimes. And Marvin said, I really think God has to have a bigger plan for us than this. And he said, and, I feel like I keep looking for something I lost, and I'm just never going to find it. And he suggests maybe, all is lost, and it might never, ever be found. And I said, oh, you can tell Marvin. I love sentimental Marvin. I do.
Yeah,
but I also like F up Marvin too. Like I like, which
like
is so weird. That's why it's like so weird that Juke has a problem showing emotions, because even Marvin's capable of showing emotion, you know.
But even Marvin was just like, you know, like, who made you? Like,
right.
Remember he said that? I'm effed up, and then comes you. Like, you're just like my pride and joy. You're amazing, you know. So it's complicated.
It is. It's complicated. And then the last scene, we see this girl with no name, but I'm not gonna call her a whore. One of the escorts. She goes and
Rita.
Is that her name?
That's not the name that they gave her, but everybody's assuming that this is Sean's mother. This is Kanan's baby mama.
Really?
Yeah. That's what everybody's saying. Tiana, yeah. Like, exactly.
Tiana, look, DeMarcus, thank you.
That's what they call her, but everybody's like, that might be a fake name. Her name may be Jarita.
Oh, y'all look at y'all. Y'all be ahead of y'all time. This is why we do this, okay?
It's the Power Community family.
I know, I love it. Y'all keep me straight, okay? So so she makes a drop off to see Kanan, and I was just confused because I was like, I thought you was working for Rock. So I said, did Kanan call you to mess something up, or what? Or can somebody explain that to me in the chat before we get up out of here? What was her purpose, or like?
She's a call girl. She's a call girl. She works for Flossie.
So he called her for some coochie?
He called for some coochie, and he probably was like, yo, I want a black girl, and Flossie sent the black girl.
Oh.
Yeah, so remember when she came to the bar to get her money from the things to Juke.
And she said, Flossie, I remember that scene.
Flossie got another appointment for me, so I can't do whatever else you want me to do. So that was the appointment. Kanan asked for a black girl, and he got a black girl. There it is.
Oh, see, I thought Kanan had got hip or something and was ahead of his time.
Right. Here's the assignment, family, because we do know who Jarita is. They already announced her like earlier this year. That's going to be in Origins. Is that the same girl? Y'all look that up and let us know.
Okay, thank you so much, DeMarcus. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Rock, Clown, and Jukebox for working with Marvin was hilarious. Jukebox meeting Tiana/Jarita was very intriguing. Yes, it is. If that's really what y'all say it's gonna be, and that's what it's gonna turn into, I'm not mad at it, y'all. I literally didn't see that. I was stuck. Like, what is this supposed to mean? DeMarcus said, Kanan, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Kanan will rob Kirsten, and this prevents Jukebox from paying Garcia or Chris. Oh,
yeah.
And she just gonna have to pop him. Like, I don't even think that's a hard thing to figure out. Juke ain't afraid to use that gap.
Yes.
Blayton says, so the question is, does Kanan know she's working for Rock, or did Rock send her on purpose? Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, Blayton.
That's the speculation that's going on right now. Does Rock know, and does Kanan know?
Right, because Shell said, I think Stefano set it up.
Set what up?
I guess maybe the girl, Jarita or Tiana, whoever y'all saying, maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming that's what you say. If I misspoke, Shells, I apologize. But yeah, no.
Yeah, but we're gonna find out. I mean, if you saw the preview for the next episode,
I did.
You saw that Kanan said he got some work for her to do.
Right, I did see that. Yes.
So they're gonna do something together. We're gonna find out what that is.
Child, and then as soon as he start liking her, Rock going anyway. Y'all, that was episode 2 and 3.
All right.
And review of Raising Kanan. Thank y'all so much for being patient with me. Thank you, VACAY, for showing up for me and squeezing these into 1 hour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job. 108. You got it done at 108. Good job, man. Good job. Yeah.
Hey, look, and had slight interruptions and everything else, but I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to both channels. Yes. And make sure y'all have your notification bells on, because at some point this week, I do plan to drop or discuss The Polygamist. So that will be going on. Ooh. Thank you so much, Blatant Truth. Yeah, I want to
invite me to that. Invite me to that.
Oh, I definitely will.
I did watch it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm definitely going to invite you, because I would love to have a male perspective, because us females are going to go all the way.
Oh, y'all going in. Yeah,
we're going in. Okay, we're going in. But thank y'all so much. Support Gaming, True OG, Stephen Harris, DeMarcus, Blatant Truth, SG. Love all y'all. And yeah, we'll catch you next week. Everybody have a safe, blessed week. And a happy 4th of July if I don't see you before. Bye-bye.
Peace.